Investor Connect podcast program. This is Hall T. Martin. I'm the host of the show, in which we interview angel investors, venture capital, private equity, family offices, and many other investor groups for startups and growth companies. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you for joining us. Well, hello, this is Hall Martin with Investor Connect. Today we're here with Manuela de Paula, a limited partner of BABEL Ventures. Manuela, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So what was your background before investing in early stage companies? What did you do before this one?
Well, I got my degree in law, completely different area. But I was very young. I entered the university when I was 17. And I didn't know very well what I was going to do. My family background is all entrepreneur. And then when I finished my school, I decided that it wasn't something that I was really into, law and all those things. I was working in a law firm, and I was more interested on how the business was being managed. I was questioning a lot my boss and all those things. And then I realized, maybe I should go to study more about business and this kind of stuff. So I enrolled myself in a master business management. And then I got very excited seeing all the things were happening. And at the same time, my family sold the company a little bit before that, but they used to have a company and they sold. And they started with the family office doing traditional investments in Brazil. I'm from Brazil, born and raised. And then I started going to some meetings and knowing a little bit more about investments. Then after that, I went to Canada to practice my English, to have a different kind of experience. Then while I was there, I decided that I wanted to come to Silicon Valley to learn more about what's going on here. Then I met this wonderful woman. She's a Brazilian too. She's the first Latina to become a GP here in Silicon Valley. And I reached out to her. I wanted to know more about venture capital investments because my family used to do only traditional investments. So I thought, I'm the youngest. I see the technology coming. And I think if one day I'm going to manage this family office, I should go try something different too. So I reached out to her. We start talking. And then even my family and all other people that I was talking about, they were kind of against my idea of investing on venture capital. But I said, no, I want to know more about it. So that's why I became a limited partner at Babel. And then I started looking more about it and learning, and I got in love because it's something that you can see where your money is going to. It's not like you put in the bank, there's a lot of funds, and you don't know where your money is going to. And then I had the opportunity to come here to San Francisco and learn more with this woman, Minuzi, that is the GP. And I learned a lot from her and how she sees this world in technology, biotech, and that's why I'm here now.
Well, that's great. So what do you find exciting right now?
I find exciting how those early stage companies and the technology can change the world for the good. So they're not only interested on their profits or doing something for themselves. They're thinking about the humanity. They are thinking to build things to make people, to help people to do something bigger, not only for business, but to create solutions for people. That's what makes me more excited about that. They are always worrying about improving people's life.
So what's your advice for people investing in startups today? What do you tell them to do before they write that first check?
I think they should have a little bit of knowledge of the area because usually the entrepreneurs, they need some advice, not only about how manage their money, and they need a little bit of knowledge because usually they are more scientists. In biotech, they usually are from the science side and they have this idea and they develop, but they need people who are more in the investment side. So I think that you should pay attention. Like you have to choose the right investor and both sides. You have to invest in startups that you know a little bit about the sector. Not a little bit, but you have to know about the sector.
So for those startups you work with, how do you coach them? What do you advise them on about how to run their business?
Usually they do like a roadmap, like in 3 months, I want to develop this and I will need to spend this amount of money to achieve this step. And then we talk again and see how your development is going. What have you achieved till now? And what else? Like, what is your prospection? Are you dealing with that good? Do you need more? You need to connect to other kind of people who you need help. Like, what is their struggle right now? And then we try to connect with other people that can help them. These kind of things.
Well, that's great. So you've seen the industry grow and change. How do you see the startup industry evolving today? What are the changes you see happening?
I see that people are paying more attention on solving sustainable development goals. For example, they need to have like this, they have to have the passion for the business, but they also want to solve something and they need to educate their customers. They need to make them understand why this business or this service is going to be good for their lives. I think that's the way that the industry is evolving, is creating solutions and educating people more than ever.
Well, that's a good point. So your investment thesis, what exactly do you use as a criteria for selecting startups that you select to invest in?
Yeah, we have to pay attention in the team who are the people that are working on it, how much of their time they are putting on it, if it's their first thing, is their main thing in their life, and if they're doing something that they really believe, and the scalability as well. Like we need to see how many people they're reaching with their solutions, and yeah, if they are really into their business, if they know what they are doing. Because sometimes we ask some questions and then they don't know how to answer that. So they need to go again and see if they're really the market for that. So we need to see how they are going to achieve what they want. If it's not only a dream, it's something that's tangible.
And do you have a couple of startups you've invested in that fit that thesis?
Yeah, at Babel, we have clean protein that I think is super interesting because they can create meat ground in labs. So they can make the meat in labs through making from a stem cells. So they develop that also they do with plants based. So I think it's very interesting. Other thing that is now very something that we should look at is the cannabis. Cannabis now is taking a huge place in the market. They are more regulated and they can develop many properties on it.
Very good. We're looking forward to learning more about those companies. They sound very interesting. So for those companies, what are the challenges they face in launching and growing their startup these days?
I think the biggest challenge is because biotech, usually the products are strictly regulated. So they always need to have this regulation done and to their product to be sold. Like they need to have the authorization of the government. So if they don't have it, it's not going to work.
I see. And are there any particular applications out there? You mentioned cannabis and some others, but which applications do you think are good opportunities for investors to pursue?
Yeah, they have drinks infused. They have oils that help people to calm down, even for dogs. There's so many products that you can do from cannabis. So I think it's a big field.
Right. Yeah, cannabis seems like it's coming up very strong. So that's certainly a good one. Well, in the last few minutes that we have here, what else should we cover that we haven't?
Yeah, I think people are trying to solve the biggest problems, and there's so many things that you can do. Like from one company, they develop one microorganism that can make more products from this only microorganism. They use biotechnology, they use lab grown materials. And with this one, they just reprogram those microorganisms so they can do, like, for example, clean meat, they can do cotton, they can produce milk with the same microorganism, just reprogramming them. It's crazy, but yeah, they are doing it.
That's quite fascinating. Well,
Yeah.
So how best for listeners to get back in touch with you?
You can reach me on my LinkedIn or my email.
Well, great. We'll put those in the show notes. I want to thank you for joining us today and hope to have you back for a follow-up soon.
Thank you.
Investor Connect helps investors interested in startup funding. In this podcast series, experienced investors share their experience and advice. You can learn more at investorconnect.org. Paul T. Martin is the director of Investor Connect, which is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to the education of investors for early-stage funding. All opinions expressed by Hall and podcast guests are solely their own opinions and do not reflect the opinion of Investor Connect. This podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon as a basis for investment decisions.